PR Connections Radio presents.
Hello, Golden Knights fans. Welcome to Vegas Hockey Hub here on PRConnectionsRadio.com, the voice of new media. I'm your host, Ian Rachiele, and what an incredible game it was as we had a Western Conference Final rematch from the past season as your Vegas Golden Knights were at the T-Mobile Arena at the Fortress taking on the Dallas Stars. And what an incredible game it was by your Vegas Golden Knights, a good competitive battle with the Dallas Stars. Now, before we get into that, I do want to remind everyone to go to PRConnectionsRadio.com, the voice of new media. Check out all the content you have on there. We have about a dozen shows on PRConnectionsRadio.com, including Vegas Hockey Hub. So I highly recommend going to the website and looking at all of the content and shows we have on our network. If you are on the YouTube channel, welcome in. If you want to subscribe, that would be great. And like the video would be appreciated. And we have all the shows on PR Connections Radio YouTube channel. And we also have a Vegas Hockey Hub YouTube channel where we post content daily on that channel. So I highly recommend to everyone watching around the world to subscribe and like the videos. It is much appreciated. If you want to go to our social media at PR Connections or go to the show at Vegas Hockey Hub, we are on all major social media platforms. And if you want to follow the host at Ian Rachiele 18, right down there below. So getting into the game, talking about the Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights, doing our Golden Knights Stars recap here on Vegas Hockey Hub. As we said last year, we are going to be doing a recap of every single game for the 2023-2024 NHL season involving your Vegas Golden Knights. So pre-game, there was a lineup change. Brett Howden is back in the lineup after serving his 2-game suspension for the hit he did on Brandon Tanev on opening night. He is back for your Vegas Golden Knights, so because of it, Jonas Roundbeer has been sent down to Henderson, and Pavel Dorofeev is once again a healthy scratch for your Vegas Golden Knights. So before the game kicked off, that was kind of the noticeable change that the Vegas Golden Knights did, bringing back Brett Howden, William Carrier, him no longer being injured, a great sign for your Vegas Golden Knights. The first period was really slow. And I feel like this has been a reoccurring theme, all recaps we have done, because it has. The Vegas Golden Knights have started out really slow. In fact, they did not score a goal in the first period. Now, thankfully, the Dallas Stars did not score a goal in the first period. It was 0-0 at the end of the first period. But it just really feels like the first period is very sluggish for your Vegas Golden Knights. The first period, it just seems like when it comes to your Vegas Golden Knights, it is not intense. Like, there really is no intensity. The energy is just not there for Vegas in the first period. And as I've mentioned before, the game 1 against Seattle, they scored late in the first period. Game 2, they scored late in the game against San Jose. And then with 2 seconds left against Anaheim, Jack Eichel scored in the first period. So yeah, the first half of the first period in all 4 games, the Vegas Golden Knights' energy just has not been there. And that's really one of the only criticisms you can say about Vegas during their 4-0 run in the first 4 games. It's just the fact that they've just been sluggish to start out each game. Hopefully, with it being an 82-game season, it overcorrects itself. It changes over time. But one noticeable detail in the first 4 games is the slow pace, the lack of energy Vegas has in the first period. Moving over to the second period, we had a fight for the Vegas Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars. Jamie Benn, who did a controversial hit on Mark Stone in the Western Conference Finals, he fights Nick Hague in the second period. Now, this was kind of a meh fight. I'm not going to say Jamie Benn won. Not going to say Nick Hague won. It was kind of just your average fight. A few punches were back and forth. but unfortunately, it was just not a great fight. It wasn't like King Kolazar going up against Sam Carrick in the Anaheim game, or King Kolazar and Kyle Burrows in the second game against San Jose. Yeah, it was just a fight that happened, but I do appreciate Nick Hague going after Jamie Benn, considering that this was somewhat revenge for what happened last year. A lot of people knew that Jamie Benn was going to have something happen to him because of what he did to Mark Stone in the Western Conference Finals last year. The hit that he did on Mark Stone was unnecessary, and I felt like this was going to happen eventually, and it did in the second period with Nick Hague going after Jamie Benn. The Dallas Stars got the first goal of the game. They got on the board first, as with 5 minutes into the second period, Craig Smith scored his first goal of the season in Dallas. Craig Smith, the former Nashville Predator, now Dallas Star. Thomas Harley and Tyler Seguin with the assist to make it a 1-0 game for the Dallas Stars. However, 8 minutes later, Caden Korczak scores the first goal of the season in his young career. Caden Korczak, goal number 1 in the 2023-2024 season, assisted by the returning Brett Howden and Wild Bill William Karlsson. It made it a 1-1 game, and I was excited to see that Caden Korczak scored a goal. This is a young defenseman, somebody who was a top prospect for the Vegas Golden Knights. He was on our top 10 prospects list. I will leave a card right up here if you want to go back and watch that. And I will say for Caden Korczak, it was good to see what he did. It was a nice play by Korczak. Unlike the Craig Smith goal, which was just a bad bounce that went in Dallas's favor, this was just a good bang-bang play by the Vegas Golden Knights to make it a 1-1 game by Caden Korczak. So, after the goal, not even a half a minute later, we had another fight, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Hutton and Mason Marchment, they had a good fight, better than the fight that Hague and Ben had earlier in the second period. And Ben Hutton had some more energy to him in that fight. That Ben Hutton fight, he showed that, yeah, I'm ready to drop the gloves. Let's go. Let's get at it. So, yeah, Ben Hutton fighting Mason Marchment, and that was definitely a good fight by Ben Hutton. And the fact that it happened half a minute later after the Caden Korczak goal, that was good. So, after 2 periods, you had 2 fights, you had 2 goals, and you had 2 periods in this game between the Dallas Stars and the Vegas Golden Knights. Not even 2 minutes into the last period of the game, the Vegas Killer, the former San Jose Shark himself, Joe Pavelski, scores for the Dallas Stars to make it a 2-1 game for the Dallas Stars. I will say that Rupe Hintz having the assist, that was a nice touch by him. Not going to deny that. Good play by Hintz. But Joe Pavelski is the Vegas Killer. If anybody who doesn't know the reference, Joe Pavelski was in San Jose, and he was a vital part of that round 1 series back in 2019. Vegas Golden Knights fans vividly remember that Joe Pavelski will score goals at the right time. He is in the right place at the right time when facing Vegas. He's done it in San Jose. He's doing it now in Dallas. But yeah, Joe Pavelski doing what he has done numerous times against Vegas, and that's put the puck in the back of the net. So Joe Pavelski made a 2-1 game for Dallas. And then about 2 minutes after this, and I want to give a quick shout out to this, Keegan Kolazar with a nice hit on Jamie Benn a few minutes later. Now, Jamie Benn already had his fight with Nick Hague in the second period, but Keegan Kolazar just gave him a nice boom in the third period. And I will say Keegan Kolazar did a really nice job on that hit. A lot of people ask, why is Keegan Kolazar on the roster? Why is he in the lineup? I'm going to give you a hint. This has something to do with it. He is someone who goes to bat for his teammates. He is someone who knows how to light people up when he needs to be. So for Keegan Kolazar, he took care of business, and he had a good hit on Jamie Benn about 2 minutes after the Joe Pavelski goal. And with less than 4 minutes in the game, Wild Bill William Karlsson scores his first goal of the season, assisted by Caden Korzak, who scored earlier in the game, and your captain, Mark Stone, to make it a 2-2 game in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. And I will say, Wild Bill, what a turnaround he has had. The last 2 years, while William Karlsson hasn't just become a mainstay in Vegas, but he has become one of the best players Vegas has. There's no wonder why he's a middle six forward in Vegas. William Karlsson definitely doing what he does best, and that's put the puck in the back of the net to make it a 2-2 game as we got to the end of period number 3. As they were tied up, there was nothing in overtime, no goals, really no action in overtime. So, for the first time this season, the Vegas Golden Knights had to go on the shootout. And the Golden Knights, thanks to Shea Theodore and thanks to Jonathan Marchessault, they beat Jake Ottinger, put 2 goals in the back of the net, as opposed to Matt Duchene and only 1 for Dallas. And the Vegas Golden Knights win the shootout 2-1. And your Vegas Golden Knights win against the Dallas Stars. What a nice game that was. And I will say that I know a lot of people don't like to mention goalposts. A lot of people don't like to mention they hit the post, stuff like that. But what I will say is that final shot, Aiden Hill did get some help from the crossbar. There's no doubt about it. It went off the crossbar and went out. And that was a good play on that last shot in the shootout. And it helped the Vegas Golden Knights win. They won the game 3-2 and beat the Dallas Stars. Get them to 4-0 on the game and on the season for your Vegas Golden Knights. Correction, yes. William Karlsson is a middle six forward, which includes a center. Yes, when you are a middle six forward, that is your left wing, your center, and your right wing. Just to let everyone know, clarification. Yes, William Karlsson is a forward. A center is classified as a forward. Now, the player of the game for your Vegas Golden Knights is Aiden Hill. He had an incredible performance tonight, stopping 24 of 26 saves. And there was a couple of saves in this game that only Aiden Hill would really have the opportunity to do. You have to be an elite goaltender to make some of the saves that Aiden Hill did in this performance against Dallas. And I will mention the Vegas Golden Knights. What a performance on the penalty kill. Dallas is 0-2 on the power play. And I've mentioned this before, and I will mention it again. The Vegas Golden Knights are so far 0-11 on the 0-11. So when it comes to their penalty kill, they are 11-11. So this season so far, Vegas has not let up a power play goal. Not against San Jose, not against Anaheim, not against Dallas, and not an opening night against Seattle. So their penalty kill has been fantastic for your Vegas Golden Knights. A really good job, really well done by Bruce Cassidy and by the Golden Knights. Now, there was a post-game interview by Bruce Cassidy. Due to copyright issues, I'm not going to play the video, but I will say that Bruce Cassidy did address certain things in the interview at the post-game, and he did have some good insight on what was talked about. And Bruce Cassidy has really helped Vegas and has really elevated Vegas into what they are now. If anybody wants to give props to how well Vegas has done the past 2 years, Bruce Cassidy has a lot to do with it. And I like to be fair. I like to be partial on this show. So, Jake Ottinger, the goaltender in Dallas, the guy I picked as my Vezina Trophy winner. He is somebody that I have given a lot of props to this season. He did really well in this game. Jake Ottinger on the opposite side of Aiden Hill. This was a goaltender duel. This was a battle, a mano-a-mano kind of battle between Aiden Hill and Jake Ottinger. Now, thankfully, Aiden Hill did win the battle at the end of the day. But when it comes to Jake Ottinger, I will give props. I will give credit where it is due. Jake Ottinger did well, as did the Vegas Golden Knights. You know what? I will put this on the screen right here, right now. You can make an argument that he is the best coach, or if not, he is a top 3 coach in the NHL. Yeah, Bruce Cassidy, you can make a valid argument that when it comes to coaches in the NHL, he is one of the best in the NHL. Now, there are other coaches I will give credit to. Jared Bednar in Colorado, John Cooper in Tampa Bay. So, yeah, I will give credit to those guys. They definitely have made a good impact in their organization. Rod Brindamore out there in Carolina, he's a good coach as well. So, yeah, Bruce Cassidy is top 3, in my opinion. I will give him that. But if I had to rank it, in my opinion, I would say Jared Bednar, John Cooper, Bruce Cassidy. That's kind of where I would have it, in my professional opinion, is that those guys are there for a reason. They are definitely ranked correctly when it comes to coaches. So, yeah, Jared Bednar, John Cooper. If you don't know, Jared Bednar is in Colorado. John Cooper is in Tampa Bay. And Bruce Cassidy is right now in Vegas. So, yeah, I will definitely put that on the screen. Thanks for the question. But, yes, that's really kind of where you could put it. Jared Bednar, John Cooper, and Bruce Cassidy are kind of the top echelon when it comes to coaches in the NHL. Now, what is up next for your Vegas Golden Knights? As we did our recap, we talked about the Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars game here on Vegas Hockey Hub. I'm your host, Ian Rachiele. Now, what is next for your Vegas Golden Knights? They actually have to go to Canada, and on Thursday, they're going to be taking on the Winnipeg Jets, and it's going to be an incredible game. Now, I will point out that we will be doing the recap show on the Winnipeg Jets on the 20th. So we are going to be doing it at 8 a.m. on Friday, immediately after the game, as we've been doing throughout this entire time. So the only difference is going to be, for example, they're going to be taking on Chicago on the 21st. We'll be doing that on the 23rd. Because once again, we do not record on Saturday or Sunday. PR Connections Radio, we really do not record on Saturday or Sunday. So if there's a Saturday game like Chicago, for example, we'll be recording that recap on Monday instead. But for Friday, 8 a.m., we'll be doing the recap show for the Winnipeg Jets and Vegas Golden Knights game. See if they can go to 5-0 on the young season as they take on Winnipeg. That's going to be an incredible game. If Connor Hellebuck's in the net, you're going to have another amazing performance in the pipes for Adin Hill and for Connor Hellebuck if that ends up happening. Moving over to the AHL, you have your Henderson Silver Knights, who are also in the AHL out there in Henderson, Dollar Loan Center. And them signing Jet Jones, by the way, is a good opportunity. They brought him in to be a forward, signed him to a deal. He will be in Henderson. Now, Friday and Saturday, they're going to be having their season home opener against San Jose. So, on Friday and Saturday, they will be taking on the San Jose Barracudas at the Dollar Loan Center in Henderson. That will be a fantastic game. There's going to be a lot we can watch about that. And I will also give credit to the Henderson Silver Knights. They are 2-0 on the season. And there was also a press release that came out that Sheldon Rampel was named the AHL Player of the Week from Henderson. So after his incredible performance against the Iowa Wild, he did pretty well, and he's gotten a lot of props there. So, yeah, shout out to Sheldon Rampel for being named the AHL Player of the Week from the Henderson Silver Knights. Did an incredible job there. And we're also going to give some credit to the UNLV Rebels Hockey. This could be one of the first times you're going to mention them all year. And the UNLV Rebels Hockey are going to be taking on University of Utah on Friday and Saturday at the City National Arena. We are going to be trying to go to one of those games because UNLV Hockey, I have a lot of respect for them. I like what they're doing over there. But yeah, October 20th, October 21st, the UNLV Skating Rebels are going to be taking on University of Utah at City National Arena. Now, October 20th will be at 7 p.m. Pacific, and October 21st will be at 5 p.m. Pacific. So if you're in City National Arena or if you're at downtown Summerlin and you have nothing to do on Friday or Saturday, I highly recommend going to City National Arena and watching your UNLV Skating Rebels take on University of Utah. Gonna be a blast, and I have a lot of respect once again for the UNLV Rebels hockey for doing what they do. So as we are doing our recap show here on Vegas Hockey Hub, I'm your host, Ian Rachiele. I will quickly mention what our show is going to be for tonight. We are going to be doing our player profile on Michael Amadio. So that's going to be an incredible show. It will be at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, 8:30 Central. So once again, Michael Amadio, player profile, will be at 6:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Central time. So that's going to be a fantastic show. We spent a lot of time and effort building up that program, getting it done correctly. So Michael Amadio will be tonight for Vegas Hockey Hub on prconnectionsradio.com, the voice of new media. I want to know from everybody watching around the world, 4 games in, the Golden Knights are 4-0. Has anybody surprised you so far? Has there been any player that either good or bad has done surprisingly for you? Because I'll say for the Vegas Golden Knights, this is an organization that has done what it needs to do to win in games. This is an organization that when you really break it down, they have done whatever it takes. They are willing to do whatever is necessary to win in the NHL. And I'll say this right here, right now. I truly believe that Chandler Stevenson has been the MVP so far. 4 games in, it's a little too early to say this, but I'm going to put this on record. Chandler Stevenson, Jack Eichel, and Mark Stone have been the best players Vegas has had so far. Chandler Stevenson has had 2 goals, 5 points in 4 games. He's averaging more than a point per game right now. William Karlsson has had 4 points in 4 games. He is averaging right now a point per game for Vegas. And your captain, Mark Stone, has not had a goal in this season, but Mark Stone has passed the puck around. There's no doubt in my mind, Mark Stone has made it count in Vegas. So Chandler Stevenson, William Karlsson, and Mark Stone have been 3 guys that I will say have done pretty well. Jack Eichel has had 2 goals on the year. He's done some pretty good stuff as well. And I will also mention this. So Jack Eichel leads the team in goals. Chandler Stevenson leads the team in assists and points. The guy who leads the team in plus minus is Braden McNabb with a +4. And then Brett Howden leads the team in penalty minutes despite playing only 2 out of the 4 games so far. So as we are talking about the Dallas Stars and Vegas Golden Knights here on Vegas Hockey Hub Recap, I'm your host, Ian Rachiele. And I will say to everybody watching all around the world, this has been a good experience. I am looking forward to Winnipeg on Friday morning, 8 a.m., once again, here on Vegas Hockey Hub. And I will say to everybody watching all around the world, I'm your host, Ian Rachiele. We have the power on Friday, Brian Gardner. That is at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, here on PR Connections Radio. So Brian Gardner, we've got the power. I have a lot of respect for what he does out there. He does a pretty good show on Friday nights. Got a lot of respect for him. On Tuesdays, you have Cozy Stone with Cozy Up and Pay Attention. She is somebody that definitely puts a lot of new perspective on the network. So yeah, Cozy Stone on Tuesdays, Brian Gardner on Fridays, The Love of Business, the earliest show we have, about 7 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Central time. And Edgar and Devin, they have done a pretty good job with The Love of Business. So definitely I have to give props to Edgar and Davin when it comes to Love of Business. You also have Crypto and Cash on Mondays at 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Central. And regardless if it's Brett or Dan, they definitely give you insight and try to give you some perspective on the crypto and cash world. So yeah, Mondays at 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Central, you have crypto and cash. Tuesday at 7 a.m., 9 a.m. Central, you have the love of business with Edgar and Davin. 2 p.m. on Tuesday, you have Cozy Up and Pay Attention with Cozy Stone. And on Wednesdays, once a month on Wednesdays, you have the professionals. Shout out to Rachel, by the way, for doing that job at 1 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Central. And I will also say Voices of Humanity at 2 p.m. on Friday. Sandra has done a really good job with that show. She definitely gets a good up for me when it comes to her show. 2 p.m. on the Pacific time, 4 p.m. Central time on Friday at PR Connections Radio. So just wanted to give a quick little shout out to all the shows on PR Connections Radio. Also give props to Guy Dawson for creating the network. If it wasn't for him creating the network, this show would not exist. Dana, for what she's doing behind the scenes, will always give her credit. And I will also point out that I have a bunch of new content for Vegas Hockey Hub that is in the works that we are going to be uploading as the time goes by. October has been a busy, and I mean really busy, month for Vegas Hockey Hub and your host, Ian Rachiele. And for anybody who goes on to our Twitter, at Vegas Hockey Hub, we are going to be doing live tweeting of every single Golden Knights game. We've been doing it for the first 4 games of the series. We'll be continuing it for all 82 games for your Vegas Golden Knights. So, once again, at Vegas Hockey Hub, we will be on Twitter live tweeting each Golden Knights game as it goes on. I'm your host, Ian Rachiele. Follow me on social media right down below. And until next time, here on PRConnectionsRadio.com, the voice of new media, continue watching hockey, go support junior hockey, and go Knights, go!